Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the Wiki Comic Book Hour. We're most of the way through, and now it's going to wrap things up with this week's non-event DC books. Kicking things off, we've got Batman Incorporated number 11. Where we left off, it seemed like all Joker Incorporated had either been killed or was about to face at least one member of Batman Incorporated. But Alpaca was in China, was the target for El Gaucho and Ghostmaker. However, her brother, the Batman of China, prevented them from going after her. Meanwhile, Dusty Bronco was about to kill Clown Hunter and Jiro, but the arrival of oh god, what is his friggin' name? It is Raven Red. Caused him to change his plans. So we begin in Orus City. Gaucho is trying to stop Ghostmaker and Batman of China from killing one another. But yeah, the fight begins, and Alpaca and her henchmen show up, and they say that the fight has to go on, or she's going to start killing hostages. Explaining that she has 130, had 134, now it's 132. In South Dakota, Dusty Bronco gives his origin story. Comes from a long line of rodeo clowns, and he was injured by a bull, and well, he sought not so legal means of acquiring pain medication. When Man of Bats basically messed him up and put him in the hospital for 6 months. He had to learn to walk again. Lost his gig on the circuit. All he ever wanted to be was a rodeo clown. So he tosses out a gun to Raven Red. Say, hey, do like a duel. 20 paces, then we turn and fire. Elsewhere, Joker activates all of the bombs and informs El Gaucho that yeah, they're now on a 30-minute timer instead of an hour timer. Same rules apply, however. Knight and Grey Wolf are have been trying to figure out how to disarm the devices. However, they can't figure it out, and the device goes off. Grey Wolf states that there are pieces left, and perhaps they can figure it out by using the pieces that are left, as well as what they have on hand. In Paris, Charles de Gaulle and his Cirque de la Mort are given the go sign, and well, they're about to get started on taking down their captive audience. Night Runner comes in to stop them, seemingly loading them all into a panel truck and speeding off. El Gaucho informs Ghostmaker and Batman of China what's going on. Manages to escape get loose from Alpaca's goons, and takes Alpaca prisoner. Tries to talk her down, saying, "Hey, Joker's just going to kill you. That's all. You're not going to get. You're not going to be like a trusted, like he's not going to let you be the Joker of China. You're just a piece in the game to him." But Alpaca states that if she is going out, then she's going to take all of them with her and orders for people to drop the hostages. Raven Red opts not to use the revolver that Dusty Bronco's thrown to him, and bum rushes him and smacks him around a bit before strangling him, or beginning to strangle him, or at least choke him, which is where the issue ends. I'm digging this story. This is apparently the penultimate chapter of the story, so you're interested to see how the whole thing ends up playing out. Somehow I figure that the rest of Batman Incorporated will figure out a way to disarm the devices, pass it along, so that and go through. Okay, we actually managed to do this Batman's way. Lame. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Wildcats number 10. Where we left off, Grifter was on his way back to Earth Zero. However, the Wildcats had been run off from Halo, and Halo itself had been taken over by the Court of Owls, while the Wildcats had been recruited to work with John Lynch. So it opens with a flashback to weeks previously in Eastern Europe. Peacemaker and his female counterpart are making a weapons deal with the president of an Eastern European nation, but Spartan shows up and to make a counter offer. Spartan ends up fighting Peacemaker, but and while the Spartan unit takes some damage, he still manages to escape. And the meteorite shard that on the plane that Peacemaker was negotiating for is destroyed, meaning that there's now no more deal for the country. Presumably, this is the nation that that's been mentioned a few times in passing throughout the issue. In Star City now, the Spartan unit with Michael Cray's being in their essence inside of it rescues Voodoo from being chucked out the window, or having jumped out the window of the Halo building, and is promptly attacked by Maul. Zealot, Fairchild, and Ladytron discover that Lynch was in fact working for Marlowe, who has also managed to escape the Court of Owls coup on Halo. Spartan and Maul duke it out. The rest of the 7 soldiers show up, including a few, as well as a few Court of Owls assassins. Zealot jumps in to help. Marlowe and the Wildcats argue. Well, the 3 Wildcats, while Lynch enjoys a drink. However, the limo swerves to avoid 3 people standing in the road: Arsenal, Batman, and Black Canary. But Maul manages to pull a fast one, or Spartan manages to pull a fast one on Maul, uploading the Michael Cray consciousness into Maul, and the Spartan unit then escapes with Voodoo. During the fight between the Wildcats and Batman, Black Canary, and Arsenal, we learn a bit more about at least Fairchild's powers. Batman stating that he knows who she is and what the Halo Corporation did, adding that the hormone in her blood that triggers the change is tied to her adrenal response. If she overexerts herself the way she is currently, or for long enough, she'll crash. And she does. When it seems to be down to just Zealot versus Batman, Black Canary, and Arsenal, Grifter returns Earth Zero, breaks things up. And after Grifter takes a few hits from Batman, he's pushed over by Caitlin and takes her hostage. However, of course, Black Canary doesn't know him, and so, but the Void seemingly teleports the whole group away, including Lynch. Well, actually, no, not the Void. They managed to hack the Justice League teleporters and use those to teleport away. Roy notes that it seems that Batman and Black Canary dealt with the Wildcats before and asks if they're always subconscious, and Batman says that yes, they are. Black Canary adds that she hates to admit it, but they're good, and that's becoming a problem. Though Batman points out that every team has a weak link, and Roy feels attacked by that. And that is where the issue ends. I love this book. It's fun. I do hope that there are some of the Seven Soldiers I hope do leave Halo's service, mainly just because I like them as heroes, not villains. Please let Backlash join the Cats. I mean, and Warblade too. You've already got, you're already in Maul, switch sides. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got World's Finest Teen Titans #2. Where we left off, Roy was attempting to be an influencer, basically using Titans battles as a means of generating social media interaction. While it seems the rest of the Titans the mentors of the rest of the Titans are, they say, yeah, hey, you guys are doing great. Batman is just kind of like, yeah, I don't know these. I know they're mentors, but I don't know or trust the rest of the Titans, and trying to get Dick not to stick around. So the issue opens in DC. Garth is there to pick up Donna Troy for a date when Bumblebee shows up. They knock at her door, and young black guy opens it, saying that Donna's getting dressed. This is apparently her friend Mal. As I recall, he becomes the hero Harold. I think it goes Harold then Vox. He's couch surfing at Donna's, basically. And Bumblebee's smitten. But Donna talks all the things she loves about man's world. We see moments of her with Garth. Garth doesn't seem to be enthused about them. In some cases, more terrified. But the Titans alert. And during the whole thing, Donna actually does out Bumblebee as a superhero. But they get an alert to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Robin and Speedy arrive on the scene. Apparently, Robin has drafted a couple of roamers named Lilith and Gnark as Titans advanced scouts. That way they can separate the legit endangered from the attention seekers. What they found is Dallas A. Flores, a 16-year-old girl missing for 3 days, bolted from her classroom in a frantic, highly agitated state. Lilith and Gnark tracked her to an abandoned house, but when they went inside, Lilith felt a psychic cry so intense it nearly turned her brain to soup. The rest of the Titans show up. Roy says, well, that's great. Who wants to go in and get their head detonated? But Lilith explains it was more of a psychic. It was because of her own psychic abilities that almost happened to her. And so, Garth, Donna, and Roy go in and end up immediately split up. Garth's in a Hall of Mirrors, Roy's in high school, Donna's on Themyscira. On Themyscira, Queen Hippolyta banishes her from the island. In high school, Roy has to deal with bullies. We also find Bumblebee, Kid Flash, and Robin manage to find Dallas's best friend, Vicky, explaining that Dallas has can kind of read minds, explaining little scraps at first, picking up random thoughts. Nobody can control it or focus it. That's terrified her. Tries hard to keep it shut down. She's afraid people will find out and everyone will hate her. She hasn't told anybody but Vicky. But her powers are getting stronger. The other day, well, all of a sudden, Dally wasn't receiving other kids' thoughts. She was broadcasting her own. Everyone thought she was screaming, but she wasn't saying a word out loud. Every single thought in her head was just spilling out. Every embarrassing fear, every shame, every deep, dark secret, everything, and the whole school could hear. As for what Garth deals with in the house, being ugly. But yet, they're facing teenage fears: rejection, bullying, and being ugly. But Dally's innermost fears, so they managed to get through it, and Garth goes to talk to Dally, calms her down, and explaining that he was born with purple eyes, and to his people that meant he was a repulsive evolutionary throwback. His mother was kind about it, but he felt like a hideous monstrosity, like everyone was calling him that. Until one day, in all that name calling, he asked himself whose voice was loudest, and it was his. Maybe he couldn't control what other people said to him, but he could control what he said. So he started telling himself he was worthwhile, and it sounded fake at first. It was hard, but he kept at it, and he really had to work at it, and he still does sometimes. But it helped. It helped a lot. And so he asked if Di would like some help, and, well, she would. Afterwards, Lilith apparently helped her find an off switch in her brain. Garth's going to stick around for a few days, keep an eye on her. Classmates will remember Dallas say less as the girl with the embarrassing outbursts and more as the girl who knows the Titans personally. After that, Lilith's given Dally's parents the names of some people who specialize in this sort of thing. But as the Titans fly off, someone's watching from the shadows. And the Titans get a group, all get texted by Charlie. Apparently TitansCon is coming up in Metropolis. But panels, cosplay, and very special guests. Bumblebee, Kid Flash, and Speedy are stoked about this. Donna's kind of like, what? And Robin is also like, he's a little shocked. Yeah. And that is where the issue ends. seriously, this book is good. It's quality quality title. Wade's doing great work on World's Finest and World's Finest Teen Titans. I'm not entirely. I can't say I'm looking forward to World's Finest Teen Titans ending because I'd love to see Mark Waid continue telling more early days of the Titans stories. I think that'd be great to see. He does a really good job of taking stuff that's basically taking concepts from 50 plus years ago and modernizing them with them still feeling with still getting the original ideas across. Moving on to our next book, we've got Multiversity, Harley Screws Up the DCU number 6, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, Harley had made sure that Batman exists. She didn't feel good about it. You want to do a good thing, and instead you have to make sure that an 8-year-old boy gets orphaned. And the other Harley had been injured in a fight with Starro's Suicide Squad, namely by Red Tool. The other Harley dies and explains that the people she's talking to, and Professor Incredulous are one and the same, and they gave her the communicator, and she's made to promise something. But after that, she takes down Starro's Suicide Squad with the exception of Red Tool. Smashes up their time machine, goes to her own time machine, and Red Tool slips in, and well, as the time machine activates, Red Tool gets knocked into the time stream. And apparently a list was left for her by the other Harley. Needing to fix the origins of Green Lantern, Hawkman and Hawkgirl, Cyborg, Shazam, Swamp Thing, Zatanna, the Atom, Black Canary, and Raven. So she goes and takes care of all that. Apparently she had also made sure Martian Manhunter didn't, die. But she makes it eventually, and she also gives other Harley a whack on the head. The thing that helped other Harley break free of Starro was, in fact, her. So she returns to Coney, or at least she tries to. It ends up instead in the lair of the Council of Quinn. Hyena Harley, Dr. Snarlene Quinzel. Injustice Harley, Harley Classic, Old Lady Harley, Bombshell Harley, and Zombie Harley. Apparently the others have been cleaning up Harley's messes for years. Mainly the cosmic universe shattering ones. Though Bombshell Harley points out they can't possibly fix all of her mistakes. And we also find out just what's the deal with Harley's memory. Time travel kind of messes with one's memory. But she does kind of feel like something maybe didn't go right. But she returns home and knocks the crap out of Red Tool, just because. And, well, there is one thing still missing. Aquaman. That never got fixed. And the series ends with Booster Gold showing up. and he asks if the Council of Qin wants to get some Chinese. He has a great little hole in the wall during the Ming Dynasty. And that is where the series ends. Aqua Who? This was a fun series. I really dug it. But I mean, I'm a fan of multiverse stuff. Tongue-in-cheek multiverse stuff is also quite fun. I mean, hell, I enjoy tongue-in-cheek stories that have their tongue firmly planted in cheek. So yeah. Moving on though to our last book for the week, we've got Dangerous Street number 8. Where we left off, the Dingbats were plotting to escape jail with Warlord, and Lady Cop had met Jack Ryder, and one of them was while waiting to speak with the Commodore from Green Team, and one of the other 4 members of Green Team had narrowly escaped Manhunter with aid from the Outsiders. And so, Lady Cop goes to dinner with Jack Ryder. She'll have wine with her, but Jack wants to keep himself sober. The plan goes off. There's an explosion on the other side of the police department. Cooper sees Non-Fat and Warlord gone. Another explosion, and, well, there are the rest of the kids. They're gone too. But the now former member of Green Team gives the origin of Green Team and the Outsiders. They used to play in school. Kids used to play this game where there were cracks in the asphalt, a bunch of them. But out of a few of the cracks, there was stuff growing, weeds or grass. And they used to do this thing where they'd go across the whole thing, that part of the yard at least, and you could only step on the cracks that had the green stuff coming out of them. And so the goal was to cross the whole thing, go to the wall and back while staying on those lines. If you made it, you got to be part of the winning team for the day, which they called the Green Team. If you lost, you put 1 foot down to balance or jump. If you fell, you put a foot outside the cracks, you were an outsider. And one day, a guy comes along and says he's old and wise, and he has a proposition. In the next round, what if he gave something to the winners and the losers? One side gets a dream come true, the other is a nightmare. Wouldn't that be fun? And the Commodore knows that the Manhunter is coming for him. Having trouble with opening with a juice box, and Codename Assassin is trying to open it for him. But Codename Assassin knows that he's going to have to face the Manhunter soon, and asks if he can use an arm made of diamond. That is in the possession of the Commodore. Warlord and Starman are reunited, though Starman's still feeling kind of lightheaded. Lady Cop explaining as part of her backstory to Jack Ryder that she survived a supervillain basically killing a house full of people, begging for Superman to come the entire time, and he never showed, and that's when she decided to become a cop. But at that point, Ryder starts drinking. We find out that one of the Outsiders was almost on the Green Team, but she misjudged the jump, and the person who spoke to them pulled the helmet of fate out of his bag. As Jack and Lady Cop finish up dinner, Jack, now very drunk, states that he used to be a superhero. Meanwhile, Codename Assassin meditates and turns the diamond arm into a diamond sword. But Non-Fat explains to Warlord that Starman told the dingbats their plan, and they need to try and make it happen. Meanwhile, our former member of the Green Team is given the Warlord's sword by one of the outsiders. And so they offer to help Manhunter. Outside the restaurant, Jack Ryder shows he is a superhero and gets punched in the face by Lady Cop. The arrangements are made for Manhunter and Codename Assassin to meet, and that is where the issue ends. We're getting closer to the end of this series. 4 more issues to go, so honestly, curious to see how it all plays out. It's been an interesting ride, to say the least. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Huge shout out to Patreon patron Xander Lee. Thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.